Hello, I'm Brenda Howell, Future Executive Senior Sales Director with Mary Kay, and today I am on here just to train my unit on how to do weekly accomplishment sheets. This is a sheet that looks like this. I would prefer you to ask me for this one because I kind of redid this, so it is a little bit different than the one on Mary Kay in Touch, but you can get it there, but I can email you this. Okay, so let me share a little bit about what this weekly accomplishment sheet is for. This weekly accomplishment sheet is not a complete summary for your income tax. It's not for that at all. This is for you to turn into me, and it helps me to know what areas you may need help in. And so when you turn this into me, I can look at it and I can see what you're doing. It's also a great recruiting tool for you to use during an interview. I think it's great when a potential consultant can see what you're doing and how much time you've invested in the business and how much money that you're making. And this sheet will tell you everything. Now, in another video, I will tell you how to keep up your income tax records and, you know, how to keep up with all that stuff. But I'll do that in another video. So, again, this is mainly for me and for you. And that is another thing is I actually do a banquet at the end of the year where I do crown queens, and I recognize you for your accomplishments. I recognize for the top consultant in sales, the top consultants in basics sold. So there's a slot you're going to see on here that says number of skincare sets sold. That's going to be really important that you figure or that you fill that out for me each week to tell me anytime you sell a cleanser and a moisturizer, even if it's a reorder. It doesn't actually have to be to a new customer, but if you sell a customer a cleanser and a moisturizer on the same sales ticket, you get to count that for a basic for that week. So I recognize for the top classes, who has held the most classes for the year, and the number of basics sold, the top reorders, and of course the queen of recruiting. I recognize for all those things, and that information comes from this sheet right here. So let's look at this. Of course, you're going to put the date. Again, this says weekly accomplishment sheet, so it's important that we do this weekly. So you're going to put the date of your party, facial, or your reorders. So you're going to go across through here. So you're going to put the date, the name of the facial, or if it was a party, you'll put the hostess name there. Then next, you're going to write the amount of time that you invested at the facial or the party, or how much time you spent doing reorders. The next column is the number of calls or guests at the party. That's going to be important for me to see. Again, I can help you when I see that, you know, I kind of look at this, see how many guests are there, how many bought, what your sales were. That helps me to know how to train you. So the next column is, so we're going to write the number of guests that attend the party, the number of orders that you got at the party. The next column is for number of bookings. So how many future bookings did you book from that appointment? The next one is the number of skincare sets sold. And like I said, that's really important. That's a cleanser and a moisturizer. Then the next column is going to be in here where it says facial. You're going to put the total of the facial before tax. That's going to be important to me to know before tax. You never give hostess credit on taxes, okay? The next column is going to be skincare class or a party. What you sold at the skincare class or party. Don't just put a check there. Put the total amount that you sold before tax there. The next column is maybe you sold the hostess or your mama something at 50%. So you'll put any product in there that you gave away at 50%. Now that's going to be important because you're going to pay yourself based on the amount of sales you have. But the one thing that I want you to know is you cannot pay yourself when you sell people product at 50%, okay? 50% is only going to replace the product that you sold them, okay? So You could never pay yourself on 50%. The next one, it says reorders. Now, I don't necessarily go down through here and write every reorder. I'm going to show you that in just a few minutes. I actually take all my sales ticket for the week and I add them up, and I'll just write reorders in this column and come over here and put the total. The next is a debit card fee. Now, just because we live in a cash-free world pretty much these days, you really do need to get the ProPay app that's on the Mary Kay In Touch. You need to get that. There are other forms of taking a credit card from your customers. One of them being Venmo. That is a free app that you can put on your phone. Actually, there's no transaction fees or anything with that. But still, on a professional level, I think you need the ProPay, because that actually is going to be something that you're going to use on the Mary Kay website. Nobody can actually purchase product on your website without you having ProPay, because they can't put their credit card number in without you having that. It's like a $39 fee a year, but truly it's worth it. And on the ProPay app, when somebody pays me or I key in their card, then I personally don't ever transfer the money to my bank, so I don't have that second transaction fee. So I have a transaction fee from using their card on ProPay. There'll be another small transaction fee if I transfer it from ProPay to my bank account. I usually don't do that because I just leave the money sitting in there, and I can use it for my Mary Kay order, and it won't cost me anything to transfer it that way to the order. So I need to make sure that I am putting my debit fees from this sale so that I'll make sure that I don't pay myself. I mean, I know it's probably going to be maybe $1 or $2 or something, but still over the year, I want to make sure that you're calculating and taking that out from the sale so that you're not paying yourself on it. Just so that you don't, we can talk about that later. Anyway, moving on. The next thing is sales tax. So you're going to put your sales tax here. And personally, I don't do all of these columns just because of the accountant that I use. They know all about the product that I gave away. But you can, just for yourself, if you choose, every amount that you give away as a free gift, or you actually give it away as hostess credit, all of that, you're going to put that right in this column, okay? So, as of right now, I'm kind of going to show you from my sales tickets how I work all of this up. Now, what I would want to do is I take my first sales ticket, and it's going to be a facial. And I do kind of keep all of this separate, like I'll keep them separated in a stack. So this is my facial, and what I'm going to do is, her name is Shelly, and we did this on, I'm going to put the date on here, and then I'm going to write her name in here, and then I'll show it to you. So I'm going to write her name here, and I know I probably spent about 2 hours with her, and she purchased. Now, she did book a party, so I'm going to put 1 in number of bookings because she is personally booking her party herself. And then I'm going to, over here in the facial column, I'm going to write $36. Actually, it was $26. $26 because I did give her a discount for being my model. I gave her a $10 coupon for coming and being my model. So I can write down $10 over here that I gave away. Now, just so you can see what I did. So I put Shelly, and then 2 hours I spent with her. I'm sure this is backwards, but so 2 hours that I spent with her. The number of orders, she did spend, she bought $36 because, like I said, I always offer my models a $10 coupon for coming and being my model. So she ended up spending $26 with me, and she did book an appointment. Now, what I would do with the sales ticket, or actually what my assistant would do, is I take the top copy of this, the top copy of this, I tear this off, and I've got a file, and I'll show you that in just a few minutes of where I put all of my sales tickets for my tax purposes. And then the second copy of this, of course, she gets a copy, and I always give the customer the middle copy, and then the last copy is going to attach to the back of her profile, okay? So I attach all of her sales to this ticket, and then I staple it together. Okay, that's what I do as far as filling out for my hostess, or my facial. So I'm going to come on here, and then I'm going to show you my next facial with somebody I just invited over. And Miss D came for a facial, and she has been my customer in the past. It's been a while since I've seen her, and I probably spent 2 hours with her. And this one, she actually spent, now my last facial, once again, I got a booking from her. She spent $26 with me. This one actually spent $207 with me, okay? So, I'm going to write her sales ticket up. And so I just write everything on there. I take off where I gave her $10 for her facial. And so I'm going to, the next facial is somebody that I facialed. I spent probably 3 hours with her, and she spent a total of $91 with me. Okay, so she spent $91, and she recruited, okay? And so I also gave her $10 off. So she recruited, she spent $91 with me, and she recruited. My next facial is $52. She spent $52 with me, and I'm sure I spent at least 2 hours with her. She spent $52, and she also recruited. My next one, and so all I'm doing is just going down through here and listing every girl that had a facial with me. And this one, she spent $171 with me. And so I'm going to write her up. Okay. So, and then another girl that I invited to come down and have a facial at my meeting to be my model. So she brought her daughter, okay? She brought her 12-year-old daughter, and so Sarah came and was my model at my meeting. She is 12, and so she was here for probably 3 hours because she was at the meeting, and then afterwards she purchased. And so her mother spent $397 on her. So that was for a 12-year-old, a $397 facial. And then another girl came for our photo shoot, and she spent $161. That's before tax, okay? And then I had another girl come for a facial, and on Friday, I just asked her if she would come and be my model, and she did, and she spent $12. So as you can see, there is lots and lots of different people out there, and they all spend different money. Now, my next is a stack of reorders, okay? These reorders, and this actually, I am a week or so behind. So this is actually from February the 21st till March, whatever today is, the 18th, reorders. And so over here in my reorders, so I'm going to write reorders. So these are a couple of weeks worth. And my total reorders was $1,448, okay? So my total reorders was $1,448. So now I'm just going to come and I'm going to add up all of my facials. Sorry, can't see what I'm doing here. I'm going to add up all of my facials and put them in this column. Then I'm going to add up my reorders and put in this column. And then I'm going to have what I did. Of course, like I said, mine is not weekly. It's a couple of weeks. So we're going to put that total right here. Now, so that's going to tell me, and just for the fact I'm not going to take the time to add that up, but that is pretty darn good money. I think I will add it up because just for a couple of weeks in sales, yeah, that's probably close to $3,000 right there. Now, so we're going to put our sales there. Okay, I am going to have to do this just to show you how to do the next step because I can't do it without adding. Thought I had this done, so thought I had everything done here that we needed done to show you. So, okay, so we're going to do $26, $207, 91 facial, a $52 facial, $171 facial, a $397, a $161, and then $12. That is $1,117 plus my facials or my reorders. So 1,117 plus 1,448 is 25. Okay, so my total is 2,025. Okay, now what I'm going to do is actually move this down to here. So I'm going to take my weekly sales and put it right there. So I'm going to take 2,500, so $2,565, okay? Now I'm going to times that by 40%, okay? And that's going to tell me how much money I can pay myself for the week. So, of the $2,565, I get to pay myself $1,000, okay? Now, I'm going to look at about how many hours. So, honestly, just because I don't track when I go pull a reorder, or I don't really, I usually make deliveries while I'm going out to do something else. But I'll even, just to be, I'll even add 10 hours. I am sure it didn't take that long, but I'm going to say 10 hours to do those. So, if I add up all of my facials, and I'm quite sure it probably didn't take me 10 hours. So I'm going to go add all my facials. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. So a total of 26 hours. Okay. So a total of 26 hours I worked for those 2 weeks. Now I'm going to tell you, I'm going to divide that total of $1,026, I'm going to divide that. So $1,026 divided by the number of hours I spent working of about 26. So I profited almost $40 an hour, $39.46 an hour. So when I'm talking to a girl about recruiting, I can tell her that that's what I made, okay? So you can also, there's a slot where you can write down your orders that you've placed. So now on the back of this is the second sheet, and this is where that you're going to come and you're going to write your total like this so that you know how much profit you made for the week. So see right there, you're going to, the number of profit, and then how many hours you work, 26, and then that's going to give you the total profit per hour, okay? So $39.46. Okay, was that worth your time? Yes. Who do you know that makes 40 bucks an hour? Okay. Now, on here is also a place where you can start to list your prospects. Maybe people that you give the choices link out to, or maybe you actually did sit down with them after a Mary Kay party or facial and you gave them some facts about the Mary Kay opportunity. That's where you're going to write that. You can actually ask me for things on here, like what kind of training do you feel you need? If you will check that, that will help me know what it is that you need. Now, so that's how you do a weekly accomplishment sheet. So once again, what do I do with these tickets now? I take these tickets, as I just said a few minutes ago, and you're going to start to file them. Okay, so I take Shelly's ticket, as I said a few minutes ago. The first copy is going to be for my sales receipts, for my taxes, and the next one is going to be stapled to the back of her profile card so that when she calls me, I will have a record of everything that she has purchased from me. Okay? Now, what do I do with my sales receipts? I'm going to add up all of these sales receipts that you just saw me go through. I'm going to add all of these up. Now, what the government's going to want is this bottom line ticket, what I collected from somebody. So what I would need to do on here is I have to make sure on Shelly that, okay, so I'd actually had it added up as 36 plus the tax because I always want to charge retail tax even if I'm giving her a discount. Okay, so right here was the total that I collected from her, all right? I collected $28.16. So when I'm adding up for my sales receipts for my tax purposes, I'm going to add up $26. So on all of these sales tickets, I'm just going to go through here and I'm going to add up what my bottom line ticket is on all of these. I'm going to tear the top copy off, of course, and then I'm going to take that total. And now this is just how I do it. You can do it any way that you want to do it. But I like to keep all of my sales in one envelope, so I just do this. And so since January, as you can see, from January to February the 21st, I had sold $3,174 to my customers. So I wrote that there. All my tickets, top copy of my tickets are in here to save for my receipts. And so now I'm going to take all of these once I have them all added up. And just because I forgot to do that before I made this video, I will bring that total, because the total that's on my weekly accomplishment sheet doesn't have the tax. So I will, once I get over here and add up with the tax, then I will just come and I'll put from February 22nd to today's date of March 18th. And then I will put that total and total that, and then that's going to be my year to date. So this total plus the total when I get ready to write it in here will be, I'll write that total there and then add those up. And then that'll be my year-to-date total. And then I will come back and then weekly, as I do mine, I'll add these up and put my sales tickets in here. Now, once I have this, okay, once I have my sales tickets wrote down and I have them attached to the back of the profile card, I personally have, I don't know if I can do this or not, but I'm going to see if I can reach this drawer. Now, I have this drawer right here, and I have it filed A, B, C, as you can see. So I will file these according to their last name. So as you can see, I have lots of sales tickets in here, or I'm sorry, profile cards. So this is where I actually keep track of all of my customers and what they purchased. So the reason I keep these profile cards is I attach all of her sales to this so that I always know what my customer's buying, and that is my record of her. So that's that. Then, just so that I'm keeping up with her and I'm doing my follow-up, there is videos about my 40 customer, okay? So my 40 customer tracking, I will put all my new customers that's in those sales tickets, they will go over here. Her name will go over here. And I'm going to start to track what she purchased from me. And then I will know what you can go watch that video. And I will start to know how to, what she's purchased. And because my goal is I want to get all of my customers. Once again, I'm not going to train on that because that is in my 40 customers video. But I want to get every customer. I truly want to get all of her business. And I want to ask her, what do I need to do to get all of your cosmetic business? Because I want to get her purchasing those 26 items. Because that means that she is going to, when she does that within the year, that is $1,000 she has purchased from me. And only 40 customers will lead to $40,000 in sales. And that will be $16,000 to $20,000 profit for me. So that is how to do a weekly accomplishment sheet. I will talk to you in another video on how to deposit your money. Have a great day.